Listen to Sergio Sanchez every morning on News Talk 710 KURV and on the Radio Parami app. Stay informed with exclusive interviews from top local and state leaders, plus economic development news, business, and medical reports, and all the local news from the RGV. It's everything you need to know to start your day right. Sergio Sanchez and News Talk 710 KURV on the free Radio Parami app. Download it now.
Washington, Jill Nato, Fox News.
We will get the jobs report later this hour. Economists are expecting a slowdown in hiring last month from March, but the unemployment rate might have stayed the same, 4.2%. There could be a reaction to the report on Wall Street, where for now, stock futures are rising nearly 200 points for the Dow after gains to start May. Last-second drama in the NBA playoffs. Jalen Brunson hit a three-pointer to give New York the lead, and then
Detroit didn't get a shot off. The Knicks take care of business. They wrap up the series in Detroit and move on to the second round.
The final call on TNT after the New York Knicks beat the Pistons 116-113. Out west, the LA Clippers beat Denver 111-105 to force a Game 7 in that series. And on the ice, Colorado forced a Game 7 with a win over Dallas. But the three other series ended. Edmonton, Toronto, and Vegas all advanced to the second round. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
News Talk 710 KURV, broadcasting from the Valley's All-American Truck Headquarters studio at PayneAutomall.com.
It is May 2nd, 2025. You're in tune with the Valley's Morning News. It's News Radio 4 South Texas. I'm Sergio Sanchez, along with show producer Fred Cruz. We got AccuWeather meteorologist Jeffrey Nordine. He's on standby. He's quite the popular guy today because he's putting rain back in the forecast. We got cloudy skies this morning, menacing skies last night. I know some of y'all going to the car wash. You might want to wait on the car wash thing. All dusted up this morning. We'll tell you why at 7:08. Yes, rain expected in the valley this weekend. National Weather Service office. AccuWeather, everybody reporting showers, thunderstorms possible through the region today through Monday. So we have some communities that are in the news. They're going to do the sandbag distribution just in case we see a bit of flooding. In the news, we got Harlingen, Rio Grande City, San Benito, Alamo, Weslaco, Mission among the communities. They're going to be providing sandbags just in case. Sidebar mention for the city of Edinburgh, they're going to be postponing their trash cleanup event scheduled for this weekend because of the expected rain. Staying in Edinburgh School District will no longer hold classes at an elementary school where they found E. coli. So beginning on Monday, Edinburgh Schools planning to relocate all remaining students from Canterbury Elementary to an Edinburgh Recreation Center. Two men in custody after a police officer fired shots at a stolen vehicle in Donna. Investigators saying that the officer pulled over a Jeep. It happened around 6 in the morning. That Jeep was headed toward the Donna International Bridge. The suspect driving that Jeep allegedly accelerated toward the officer and led the officer to shoot at the vehicle. Two men were later taken into custody, and the Texas Rangers are investigating this shooting incident. It's 7:07 on the Valley's Morning News. There may soon be a big shakeup in Texas education.
The STAR test, which has faced bipartisan criticism, will be replaced with 3 tests under a bill that's up for debate in the State House.
We have a beginning of the year, a middle of the year, and an end of the year model adopted.
State Rep Brad Buckley says that way teachers and parents can track progress, and they would be shorter so kids can spend more time learning. The goal, he says, is to bring trust back to public education.
Anyone who has not paid their student loans needs to listen. The Department of Education will resume collecting defaulted student loans on Monday.
The department announced collections will begin on May 5th, and borrowers could be referred to debt collectors or have money deducted from their paychecks. Student loan repayment requirements were paused in March 2020 due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The Biden administration opted not to resume collections and attempted to forgive student loan debt in a program that was ultimately struck down by the Supreme Court. The Trump administration has indicated it would offer no such concessions to borrowers. I'm Brian Shook.
The time is 7:08 on the Valley's Morning News, and coming up right after AccuWeather, Texas health officials giving you a warning. Weather's warming up. We got standing water, lakes, and other waiting lakes, ponds. So anybody who's going out swimming, going boating, you need to pay attention to the warmer weather and bacteria blooms in water across Texas. So we'll talk about that right after AccuWeather. AccuWeather meteorologist Jeffrey Nordine joining us. And again, big thank you to Dougie and all the gang at Martin Farm and Ranch. They provide us 7 o'clock AccuWeather. Get ready to unleash the ultimate antler growth at Martin Farm and Ranch. They have the top quality feed your deer need for maximum results. Elevate your game this season. If you stop by Martin Farm and Ranch, give Dougie a hug from us. Meteorologist Jeffrey Nordine putting rain in the forecast. So by when, how long, how much would you say, Jeffy?
I would say late tonight is when we are tracking some thunderstorms, and then it's going to continue throughout tomorrow into tomorrow night, fairly steady, not anticipating anything to be severe. And then by Sunday morning, it'll gradually end, giving us a nice finish to the weekend, clouds and sun mid-80s.
Is it more severe north of us, Corpus, Houston, or Central Texas up in San Antonio?
Yes. Enhanced risk, 3 out of 5 on the Storm Prediction Center's website. Tornadoes possible from San Antonio east towards Louisiana into southern parts of Arkansas. Wind threat as well. We're looking at, I think, 65 to 75 mile an hour wind gusts with an AccuWeather storm max of either 85 or 70, or excuse me, 95.
That's
90.
Wow. That's pretty strong. Okay.
Yeah.
And let's see. So early next week, at least cloud cover, I'm saying in the forecast, right? Or at least keeping temperatures a bit lower for us, like in the 90s, something like that.
For McAllen, I have some thunderstorms Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, a pause. And actually Wednesday, unfortunately, is going to be humid, sunny, and mid to upper 90s. And then more thunderstorms return Wednesday night into Thursday and Friday, and that's cooling us off. Temperatures, by the way, Tuesday will be also in that mid to upper 90 range.
Excellent. We'll keep it coming. Yeah, I like that forecast.
Keeping it out of the hundreds.
You probably missed the top of the hour mention, but there were some cities around here that are distributing sandbags again, just in case it gets a bit more intense than had been expected. But you're telling us that the chances of that are not very good. We'll probably have some steady rain over the next 2-3 days.
Correct. And rainfall amounts trending around an inch by end of day Sunday. Monday through Wednesday, maybe another half an inch.
All right.
So a good amount.
Let's see on the calendar for today, for all of you nerds who love sci-fi and space, today we celebrate National Space Day, and enjoy some chocolates as you do all your sci-fi stuff. It's National Truffle Day as well.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about yesterday, because yesterday was Chocolate Parfait Day.
Oh, we continue the celebration of chocolate.
Yeah.
And a good morning to Ms. Veto and everybody over at the Rocky Mountain Chocolate Factory. That's my source. That's my dealer for truffles. Raspberry and the cappuccino truffles for me. All right, pal. We'll talk to you next hour.
All right.
Meteorologist Jeffrey Nordine on 710 KURV. As the weather warms up, health officials in Texas giving you a heads up. Be careful when you go swimming, boating. You jump into lakes and ponds.
Warm temperatures create the perfect environment for harmful cyanobacterial blooms, better known as blue-green algae. It's toxic bacteria that can threaten people, pets, and even livestock. Brittany Chesser with Texas A&M's AgriLife says blooms can show up in a range of colors, green, red, purple, even colorless, and they may look like paint, cotton, or maybe grass clippings floating on the water. A red flag to watch for as dead fish, turtles, or frogs. Blooms tend to form in warm, slow-moving water, especially when it's rich in nutrients from things like fertilizer runoff or decomposing plant matter. Both drought and heavy rains can trigger the blooms, and Chesser recommends pond owners take early steps to manage the nutrient levels. Exposure to these toxins can cause allergic reactions, liver damage, in extreme cases, rapid neurological symptoms in pets. If you suspect exposure, seek medical or veterinarian care right away.
And the first candidate to announce a bid to replace Attorney General Ken Paxton on the Republican side is stepping out of the race. Former U.S. Attorney John Bash, who worked during the first Trump administration, announced his withdrawal from the race due to a family matter. The time is 7:14. You're in tune with the Valley's Morning News on News Talk 710 KURV. All this talk about tariffs and trade and supply chain. And here in South Texas, we're one of the many markets that are seeing impressive construction numbers of late. So let's go to the front lines of the supply chain for building things, namely panels, wood, anything related to plumbing, electrical stuff, the supplies for making homes. Going to share with you a conversation with Jeremy Smith. He's the leader over at Mott's Building Materials. Any of this tariff stuff affecting prices for construction? That's next on the Valley's Morning News.
Active Liver is the easy way to get daily detox to keep you healthy and feeling your best. Find Active Liver at your local CVS or online at Amazon or newnordicusa.com.
The rental team at ASCO is ready to help you find the right equipment to do the job. For over 65 years, we've dedicated ourselves to supporting you with fast service and reliable equipment. Choose from daily, weekly, or long-term rental options to fit your project's needs. Buy it, rent it, support it. We're on it at ASCO Equipment. Visit ASCOEQ.com for your next equipment rental. That's ASCOEQ.com. The rental team at ASCO is ready to help you find the right equipment to do the job. For over 65 years, we've dedicated ourselves to supporting you with fast service and reliable equipment. Choose from daily, weekly, or long-term rental options to fit your project's needs. Buy it, rent it, support it. We're on it at ASCO Equipment. Visit ASCOEQ.com for your next equipment rental. That's ASCOEQ.com.
Brian Kilmeade here. After my show, weekday afternoons at 2, stay tuned for the 956 Drive Home with Zach and Davis starting at 4 on News Talk 710 KURV and KURV.com.
We got Astros baseball tonight on News Talk 710 KURV. The broadcast is at 7 p.m. We're expecting Dr. Gelman in studio. Conversations with Dr. Gelman tonight at 6. And then at 7 p.m., Astros baseball from South Chicago against the White Sox. Astros baseball made possible by Dr. T's Primary Care for Men and Women. Big thank you as well to all the gang over at the Mission Economic Development Office. Some people in business complaining about supply chain issues, all these tariffs, the unsettled economic policy situation right now that everybody's looking at. Let's look at construction in South Texas and, of course, all the materials that we need for that. All sorts of nails and lug nuts and panels for this, that, and glass and all these things. Jeremy Smith from Mott's Building Materials became quite a resource of information during the COVID ordeal, and we saw the supply chain issues back then. So I'm bringing him back right now because we are, best we can, paying attention to tariffs and supply chain issues. And Jeremy, welcome to the program. What I know is when we speak with the economic development chiefs and the city managers and, all these people joining us, man, hammers are flying left and right. We are building homes and subdivisions. And of course, Cameron County is just crazy awesome right now. My goodness, at the port, LNG, Elon Musk is expanding, and that we're just barely getting started. There's so much construction right now. So on your side, having to provide the basic materials for putting up those, erecting those commercial sites and homes. So what do you say, Jeremy? How's all this tariff stuff? How might it be affecting you, or is it affecting what you do in providing all these materials?
Definitely having an impact. I would say more than anything, it's more hype and more making people nervous than actually having a real impact on it's, I would say the uncertainty is the biggest impact so far. From an actual impact of goods and services going up, cost of goods going up, I really haven't seen that, particularly on the lumber and plywood side, which is primarily what we're handling. There's a lot of domestic production that offsets some of the more importable items that would be affected by tariffs. In the case with lumber, they postponed the Canadian tariffs, for example, on lumber until possibly November, which basically tells me they're gonna work out a deal before they have to do them. So I've actually seen since the tariff talk about 20, 30 days ago when they postponed the tariffs, we've actually seen a pretty staunch decline in lumber pricing.
Okay. Where do you source, or is it mostly Canada, or would you say that it's 50-50 U.S. and Canada, or where do you source all this lumber, all this wood?
Believe it or not, a lot of our lumber these days, dimensional lumber in particular, is coming out of Canada. I mean, but there's a good portion of it coming out of Europe itself. They already had a natural cost that's higher than ours. The cost of obviously freighting it over here. They're more of a socialist type society, so they basically have higher costs of doing business than even we do. I really think it when we talk about domestic production, there is a lot of opportunity for domestic production increases that haven't even occurred yet within dimensional lumber. Southern yellow pine, which is produced in the southern part of the United States, is already being accepted by more and more consumers. So I think it is fending off international competition and making it a more stable cost environment, I believe, at least as far as lumber is concerned. Now, obviously, there's going to be a lot of commodities, a lot of products that the majority come from places like China, where the impact for those items could be more substantial. But I think it could be offset. Overall, for a builder, I think with decreases they're seeing in certain areas, they could offset that and make it see a price reduction overall, or at least stability. If anything, I would say we've always had normal fluctuations in lumber prices throughout the year, as much as 20 to 30%. I don't think that's going to be any different in our environment right now.
Well, describe for me, by the way, you need to check line one real quick. No, I'm just kidding.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's all right. It's a live show. Hey, tell me how you're doing these days, because I know construction is off the charts. Man, we are definitely living in Prosperityville, USA, here in the Valley, and things are about to get even better in near future. More industry on the way. So how's it for you these days? How you doing?
It's going very well for us. We've recently opened our Harlingen location, and because of that, we've been very aggressive at picking up more market share. I would say the overall market is like I said, kind of tentative right now, but it's kind of the calm before the storm. There are so many lots, so many developments that have opened up recently. I think it's going to be a very, very good stretch, and I think we're in the midst of it already, but it's just the beginning of that stretch. And I think post-tariff, I mean, I'm not hearing a lot of my customers talk tariff at this point. They were 2 and 3 weeks ago, but they've kind of gotten back to focusing on their bread and butter, which is building.
Yeah, and as they negotiate, they keep announcing that they're about to announce a whole new set of tariff agreements with everybody else except China. As long as you're not doing business with China, I think you'll be doing fine. And we'll have a bunch of new customers and suppliers here pretty soon. Jeremy Smith, Mott's Building Materials, and we're looking at what is happening in his industry, which is providing the materials for the construction of homes and businesses all over the place. We had a conversation. I had a conversation with Gilbert Salinas over at Brownsville Economic Development, and they've got big investment coming very soon, about 1,000 new jobs, permanent jobs. And of course, we got 4,000 people that are already working at the Port of Brownsville for liquefied natural gas. More on the way with the second node. It's just crazy times. You got to put them somewhere, right? He's saying Yeah, he was saying
The
that
opportunities are boundless.
exactly. You mentioned lots, right? He said that there's some investors, they're selling lots like pancakes right now. It's like left and right, left and right. It's so more hammers about to fly here pretty soon. So on the material side, I'm sure it's going to be crazy good.
And there was a drought in home sales, really like from November through about February or March. But April, from what I've heard, was a very, very different environment than the prior months. And I can tell you that has to do with finally reaching a point where people said, you know what, tariff or not, I'm going to move forward and I'm going to get to work. And they're seeing the opportunity, the lower regulation that's coming, the lower fuel prices that will be coming. All of those things will offset some of that potential tariff. And like I said earlier, even if you have minor fluctuation, you have that in a general year under normal circumstances. So I don't think this is like a pandemic level type fluctuation. If we're going to have fluctuations, it's going to be what we have on a normal year. So my thing is, don't panic. Wait for the dust to settle. Don't assume that something's going to, that tariffs will even hold. They're designed as leverage, and they'll normally settle at a much lower level, and it will work out I think it's going to work out for the American consumer and the American worker in a very large way.
Man, can you believe this is what the White House is saying, and just in the news reports that we accumulate, from time to time, my goodness, well over $1 trillion, if not what the White House is saying, up to maybe $5 trillion in commitments already to the economy.
Absolutely.
I
think that's just the starting point.
Yes, sir. And then most of them, we see them, they're obvious in the business reports. We're being flooded by that. If, let's say, Merck or some other manufacturer, we had BMW just made commitments to expanding in the U.S. Well, when you do that, and if they have a footprint, well, that's purchase orders are coming in for new material, for concrete, for aluminum paneling, for this, that, and the other, for all sorts of materials. And everything from pens to uniforms to everything else, the orders are coming in. So I'm thinking maybe in a couple of quarters, we will see the result of all that additional $1 trillion+ in investment in the country. Jeremy Smith, Mott's Building Supplies, joining me right now. Are there any potential holes? Like I was trying to make a quick list of what goes into, for example, the building of a home. You got not only, of course, all the wood and everything that's angled and things like that, all the panels, but you got AC systems, glass, insulation, cement, concrete, pipe, PVC stuff, lighting. Are there any supply issues that you're hearing on the front lines that things are being delayed a bit, or they're trying to source them elsewhere because of tariffs or whatever?
I think most people at this point still plan pretty well for the tariffs that would potentially be imposed on April 1st. And I think they bought ahead for the most part. Do I think there'll be an impact in some areas? I would say the biggest pockets would be metal items, electrical, and then components to build, like, for example, windows. Most of the manufacturers are domestic, but that doesn't mean they don't get some of their components from Chinese suppliers, which means unless they have sufficient raw material, they may suffer at some point and have to either procure elsewhere or pay the tariff and pass that cost on to the consumer. At this point, though, like I said, I think it's more people talking about the fear of what could happen, but there's been nothing that's really come to fruition from what I've seen. And I think that is a good sign that it could be a lot of hype and a lot of fear mongering when really that's just to get people opposed to the administration and the policies. When I think another thing that's being overlooked is the inevitability of this. I mean, we put ourselves in this situation as a country, and there's going to be a cost to get out. The longer you wait to take your medicine, the more drastic that medicine has to be. So I think we're in a perfect environment, though. I think where we can actually have very little pain getting out of a very, very bad problem or curing a very bad disease.
Yeah, it'd be worse if we had all this instability and uncertainty without any solution on the horizon. It's the polar opposite. We do have stability because of the course correction that we need and the realignment of manufacturing and tariff issues. And already we've seen trillions of dollars committed by industry. It's already being spent. More is on the way. And that means, of course, more money in the pocketbook for industry and jobs left and right. And I hope we can capture more of that.
Yeah, I can tell you, I met with my biggest builder yesterday. They have their quarterly meeting, and I won't tell you who they are, but they're the biggest builder in South Texas, and their optimism and their overall expectation and their performance to date, even this year and the quarters before, has been at the highest level. They're very optimistic about this market, and you mentioned Brownsville. I had a conversation with the CEO of that company yesterday, and he mentioned specifically that Brownsville is something that's really going to change a lot as far as the ease of work there over the next several years, and making it much easier to build and to grow the city and the area, the surrounding area. So I think it's going to be very, very good for Cameron County.
Good to hear.
It's already good in the McAllen area, but I think there's room in. I mean, Weslaco's booming. I think across the board, you're looking at communities that are just exploding higher. And I still think this is the calm before the storm. So we are talking about some major opportunity.
Yeah. Ask the folks who are building things around here. They're creating the neighborhoods and the commercial sites. Ask them, and they'll tell you that the smart money is in positive forecasting right now because they see it. They see that investment coming. And the continue.
I'm a buyer here for sure.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Jeremy. Continued success. Please keep in touch, and we'll talk with you soon. Thank you, Jeremy.
Thank you very much. Take it easy. Have a great day.
Jeremy Smith with Mott's Building Supplies. This is the Valley's Morning News. News, a service of Jay Gonzalez Injury Attorneys, ready to fight for you. Call 1-800-CAR-CRASH. Check those semi-trucks driving between Houston and Dallas. They ran a pilot. They ran a test for several days. Aurora Company, ran a test with driverless 18-wheelers, but they had a safety driver sitting in the cab. Now they have no drivers. Aurora Company is running 18-wheelers without drivers for Uber Freight and Hirschbach Motor Lines, again, between Houston, Dallas, and I-45. Subway's footprint in our country is declining. In 2024, they closed over 630 restaurants. Subway is still America's largest chain of restaurants. They still have 19,500 plus restaurants across the country. And up in Austin, a bill that expands a successful loan program for the ag industry is up for debate. It is called the Young Farmer Program, offers loans of up to $500,000 at 5% interest for younger farmers, 18 older, in the 30s and early 40s. The proposed legislation, again, will be debated and sent over to the House. This is the Valley's Morning News on News Talk 710 KURV, your station for Astros baseball. We got the Astros tonight, 7 p.m. after a conversation with Dr. Lawrence Gelman. Big thank you to the many supporters, including the Mission Economic Development Office. Check of sports up next.
Exciting events, graduations, concerts at a world-class arena right here in Cameron County. Vote for the venue. The venue tax is already in place, paid primarily by visitors through hotel stays and rental cars. No new taxes for local communities. A vote for means an arena becomes a designated venue project. Early voting is now through the 29th. Election day is Saturday, May 3rd. Vote for the venue. Paid political ad by the Cameron County Now PAC.
At Rivetta's Machinery in Donna, they're bringing the best deals on Coyote equipment to your job site, your farm, or your backyard. Right now, take advantage of 0% interest or up to $6,000 cash back on Coyote track loaders and skid steers. These are machines built for maximum performance no matter the task. But don't stop there. They're also offering fantastic savings on Coyote tractors, zero-turn mowers, and utility vehicles. And whether you're hauling something, mowing, tackling other big jobs, Coyote has the equipment to help you get it done. If you're looking for great deals and great service from a team that treats you like family, look no further than Rivetta's Machinery and Coyote. Start your next project right. Visit Rivetta's Machinery in Donna or browse their deals when it suits you at mynewtractor.com. That's their website, mynewtractor.com. Rivetta's for the long haul. See dealer for full details.
The silence is deafening at the polls. Only 5% of the registered voters in McAllen District 1 have voted. I'm Tim Wilkins, endorsed by Congresswoman Mayra Flores and GOP Chair Robert Cantu. If you want conservative leadership, you should vote Election Day Saturday at Gonzales Elementary. Visit timmakesense.com for more information. I've got the energy and vision to take McAllen to new heights, and I won't turn it into a 34-year career like my opponent. Vote Saturday, Election Day at Gonzales Elementary. Political ad paid for by Tim Wilkins.
Coming up after the Valley's morning news, stay tuned for the Sergio Show with Sergio Sanchez starting at 9, followed by the Dana Show with Dana Lash at 11 on News Talk 710 KURV, KURV.com, and on the Radio Parami app.
The 710 KURV Sports Desk is brought to you by Dr. T's Primary Care for Men and Women.
It was a back-and-forth affair between the Dallas Stars and Colorado Avalanche in Game 6 last night. After trailing 2-0, the Stars were able to put 4 pucks in the back of the net in the second period, giving them a 4-3 advantage entering the third. Unfortunately, Colorado answered with 4 of their own in the third period to win the game 7-4. This means a decisive winner-take-all Game 7 will take place in Dallas on Saturday. I'm Dylan Moore, and this has been your TSN Sports Minute.
Jalen Brunson dropped in 40, including the game-winning 3 in the final seconds to give the Knicks the series win over the Pistons. Knicks will play the Celtics in the Eastern Conference semis. Clippers stave off elimination, beat the Nuggets, force a Game 7. William Nylander lit the lamp twice to help the Maple Leafs beat the Senators to win the series. Will face the Panthers in the second round. Golden Knights knocked the Wild out of the playoffs to advance. Will face the Oilers, who dismissed the Kings yet again. Minnesota hasn't advanced out of the opening round of the playoffs since 2015. Angels fall to the Tigers after the game, placed outfielder Mike Trout on the injured list with a knee issue. That's sports. I'm Ronza Moss.
AccuWeather says highs for today should be upper 80s, low 90s, expecting plenty of cloud cover. The southeast winds up to 25. And then late in the day into tonight, thunderstorms in the forecast. Let's see who gets some rain. Lows tonight in the mid-70s, and then highs tomorrow in the 80s because of all the cloud cover. Showers, rain, thunderstorms on and off. Pretty much all day Saturday. Somewhere in the region we'll be seeing plenty of rain. And then those thunder showers continue into Sunday, says AccuWeather. The Border Bridge wait times is posted on KURV.com. Right-hand margin, you'll see international bridge reports. Again, these are numbers. These are wait times headed back to the U.S. 1 hour at the Hidalgo Bridge, 45 at FAR, and close to an hour at B&M, at an hour at Gateway, 45 at Veterans. Stick around. It's a Friday. We got movie mom Nell Minow joining us in the next news segment. Well, the one after business news. Thunderbolts. Action. What is that, Freddie? Is that Marvel? It's Marvel. So it's an Avengers-like movie. Thunderbolts. Did she like it? She's a Comic-Con nerd. Movie mom coming up at about 15 minutes to the hour, so join us for that conversation. Thank you much for joining us on News Talk 710 KURV.
It takes one whiff. Everything on the menu seems to be calling out to you. Dish after dish looks so good that you just can't seem to make up your mind. Everything looks better than the last thing. It's almost mind-boggling, and that's the moment that you realize you are at the right place. Zen Asian Bistro. All you can eat. Sushi, all kinds, and always delicate, fresh, and delicious. Sushi and Chinese food all at the same place. Zen. Everything you want. Individually custom wok-fired, crispy General Chow chicken, and all of your favorite Chinese food like sizzling steak lo mein. It's an experience you'll absolutely love. Lunch and dinner, all you can eat at Zen. You don't have to decide on one thing because you get it all. Everything on the menu is yours for one low price. All you can eat. Bring everybody. With kids' meals at just $8.99, there's just no better option out there. Zen Asian Bistro. All you can eat, unlimited, unforgettable, unapologetically affordable. Zen.
If you're looking to improve your overall health and have a better quality of life, Dr. T's Primary Care is the place to go. If you feel tired or stressed or less motivated, if you're moody or if you have trouble sleeping, Dr. T's Primary Care will evaluate you and work with you to address your health concerns, including testosterone or menopause treatment, peptide treatment, IV vitamin infusions. Their licensed staff will take the time to listen to you and work with you to improve your overall health. Check out the website, drtsprimarycare.com. Give them a call in McAllen at 956-803-0058 and Harlingen, 956-368-5247.
Are you tired of waiting hours in your doctor's waiting room? Sitting around waiting to see a doctor isn't fun, and we know your time is valuable. The good news is that the physicians at Rio Grande Pain Team can help. Rio Grande Pain Team helps patients find relief from chronic neck pain, back pain, migraine headaches, and joint pain. And at Rio Grande Pain Team, we schedule your visits accordingly. Rio Grande Pain Team recently added providers, and we utilize the latest in scheduling software so our patients are seen on time for their visits and treatments. There's no need to wait 5 hours in a physician's office. At Rio Grande Pain Team, you no longer have to live with chronic pain. Dr. Dennis Slavin can help and have you feeling better at last. Book your appointment now in Weslaco or McAllen by signing on to our website, feelingbetteratLast.com. That's feelingbetteratLast.com, or call 956-973-0565. That's 973-0565. 973-0565.
Audio streaming on KURV.com. Powered by South Texas Buick GMC, McAllen Mission.
I'm Nicole Murray with Your Money Now. Coming later this morning is the April jobs report, which will give further clues on the state of the economy. Economists polled by Dow Jones anticipate payrolls grew by 133,000 last month, down sharply from the 228,000 added in March. They also expect the unemployment rate to hold steady at 4.2%. Data drops in 10 minutes. Amazon CEO Andy Jassy said he's optimistic the company could emerge from the current tariff environment stronger than before, pointing to the COVID pandemic as an example. He added that sellers may choose not to raise prices even as they face higher costs, giving Amazon an advantage over other retailers. Block reported weaker than expected revenue for the first quarter and issued disappointing guidance. The stock plunged in extending trading. Block, formerly known as Square, cut its full-year gross profit guidance, citing macro uncertainty. Futures are moderately higher. Thursday, the Dow Industrials gained 83. The NASDAQ lost 264. That's Your Money Now.
AccuWeather says highs for today should be low 90s. Thunder shower activity expected in the area late today into tonight and into the weekend. Saturday, Sunday, we should see, especially Saturday, should see plenty of rain across the area. This is the Valley's Morning News on News Talk 710 KURV. Join us in about, I think, like 4 or 5 minutes. We got movie mom Nell Minow. Mama's back. Hey, did she buy us anything when she went on that trip? Normally she buys us little gifts, little toys. So we got movie mom coming up, and we got this Thunderbolts action hero movie thing, and see if she liked it. So join us for that. Fox News coming up in 2 minutes on the Valley's Morning News. For several years, I've been talking and praising my friend Dale Johnson, the top roofing expert in this entire region. And he has a stellar reputation and a commitment to superior customer service and making friends of everyone that he encountered through the years. Well, Dale Johnson and his entire crew of expert roofers, commercial roofers at DOJ, they have joined forces with an even bigger outfit that has the same culture of excellence in customer service and the services that they provide, and an expanded menu of so many new and different services that Dale and his team now have access to provide you. Trust Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing like my friend Dale Johnson. He's had a long conversation over many months. And Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing provides, again, all this cutting-edge roof installation technology and advanced waterproofing for your business, for your home as well. The website, ChamberlainLTD.com. Start that conversation with Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing, 956-566-6822.
I got a phone call yesterday around noon, and I was at the gym at the time. They called me twice, and I called back, and they told me, you won $1,000, and I didn't believe it. I actually had to call my bank, and I called customer service and everything, and then they also confirmed that it's true that I won, and that's why I love Lone Star National Bank.
Swipe, win, repeat. For every 35 debit card swipes, our customers have a chance at winning $1,000 every quarter. Make the switch to LSNB. Start swiping today.
Time is of the essence. I urge you to vote no on Proposition A, the venue arena. They claim tourists and ticket buyers will foot the bill, but that won't cover the cost. Change orders and overruns mean you'll pay with higher taxes. I urge you to vote no on Proposition A. After recent floods, our priority should be drainage, not an arena. Vote no on Proposition A. Our incomes are far below Texas's average. We can't afford more taxes. Did you know that San Antonio's Great Alamo Dome took decades just to make a small profit? This ad is paid by concerned local citizen Mauro Garza, and he says no new taxes for the venue. Vote no on Proposition A.
Paid for by Mauro Garza.
News, traffic, weather, sports.
The Valley's Morning News.
News Talk 710 KURV.
This is the Valley's Morning News on News Talk 710 KURV. Happy Friday. It is May 2nd, 2025. Along with show producer Fred Cruz, we got AccuWeather meteorologist Jeffrey Nordine. I'm Sergio Sanchez, and movie mom Nell Meno on standby. News on 710 KURV, a service of Jay Gonzalez Injury Attorneys, ready to fight for you. Call 1-800-CAR-CRASH.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. President Trump plans to release a partial budget proposal today, a request to Congress laying out his priorities for the next fiscal year starting in October.
For the Wall Street Journal, the president wants to make deep cuts in foreign aid, renewable energy, and education. The president is aiming to cut non-defense discretionary spending by more than $160 billion, lower than the $1 trillion Elon Musk had promised to slash. Programs like Medicare, Medicaid, and...
Good morning, Mom.
Good morning.
Okay, good. Just checking the audio.
Okay.
security and defense.
Fox's Madeline Rivera. The president has signed an executive order to end federal funding for National Public Radio and for PBS. Singer-songwriter Jill Sobule died in a house fire in Minnesota.
I kissed the girl for the first time.
She was 66. America's listening to Fox News.
Rain in the forecast for South Texas National Weather Service office. As you heard comments from AccuWeather as well, we'll see some thunder shower activity late tonight and into the weekend as a result. And just in case, now we're expecting about an inch or so of rain over a couple of days, but just in case, the whole forecast thing didn't work out for some folks in South Texas a few weeks back. We have Harlingen, Rio Grande City, Mission, Alamo, Wesco. Several cities are distributing bags today, just in case. And sidebar mentioned City of Edinburgh, they're postponing their trash cleanup event because of the expected rain on Saturday. This is the Valley's Morning News on News Talk 710 KURV. And if you're joining us on all these different platforms, YouTube and X and Facebook Live, 710 KURV, you notice I was smiling a bit earlier because Mom is here. Movie mom, Nell Meno, every time I see her, always makes me smile. Well, welcome back, Mom. Did you get us anything? Did you buy us anything? On your Okay, we've got this Thunderbolts thing. Freddie says it's a Marvel movie. Are these like anti-heroes or what is this Thunderbolts thing?
They're sort of in between heroes and anti-heroes. And by the way, before the movie began this week, they had made an announcement that said, please notice that there's an asterisk in the title. So it's Thunderbolts asterisk. And you find out at the end of the movie why that is. And I thought that was very funny. This is not everybody's cup of tea as a superhero movie because, as you suggested, these are kind of flawed superheroes, and also their superpowers are not that super. But I gotta say, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was great. There are two people in the cast who are the children of big movie stars. Louis Pullman, who you last saw in Top Gun Maverick as Bob, whose call sign was just Bob. He plays just Bob again in this movie, and is the son of Bill Pullman. And the son of Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell, Wyatt Russell, plays the new Captain America in this. I thought it was just great. What I liked about it is that each of the action scenes, while it was a great action scene, also told us more about the characters and also moved the story forward. So I thought that was very, very, very well done. Some very funny moments, some very touching moments, because these are damaged characters who have to heal some of their trauma before they can find a way to work together. And I thought that was very well done too. And yes, you need to stay through the credits. There's a funny scene near the beginning of the credits. And then if you stay all the way to the end, you get a glimpse of what's coming next from Marvel. And my fingers are really crossed. You can see my fingers are crossed because I love the Fantastic Four. They've made 3 bad movies about the Fantastic Four. The new one trailer looks good. We named our son after one of the Fantastic Four. He's named Ben after Ben Grimm, otherwise known as the Thing. So I take this very seriously, and I'm very excited. I do have one question, because the trailer makes it look like it took place in the past, but the little scene at the end makes it look like it takes place now. So, like, is Reed Richards got a long beard now? I mean, I just can't imagine how old these characters are now.
All right. Well, why don't they apply the same to Star Trek, like the movies for Star Trek when it comes to Fantastic Four? Some of them really stunk, but they kept, at least Fantastic Four, they're trying again.
They're trying again. They're going to get it right someday. Yeah, I should say that, as I always tell you, the superhero movies are all about the villain, and Julia Louis-Dreyfus is a great villain in this. And she and I have something in common, the character, I mean, because the movie begins with her testifying before Congress, and I testified before Congress this week.
Yeah. Well, yeah, just another reason I could not stand her in the Seinfeld show.
I think she was supposed to be a very unlikable character. I think they all were unlikable, but she's the villain, so you can not stand her in a good way this time.
Yeah.
Okay, also, we got a romantic drama this week called Bonjour Tristesse, which en français means hello sadness. That tells you everything you need to know about it.
Goodness, of course. Hello sadness. That sounds very Frenchy.
Yeah, it does. A Simple Favor 2, or it's actually called Another Simple Favor, with Anna Kendrick and Blake Lively, is on Amazon. It's not quite as much fun as the first one, but I just love those characters so much. I enjoyed it. And we got Étoile. This is my week just showing off my French accent. Étoile means star in French. That's the new series from the people behind Gilmore Girls and Mrs. Maisel about the ballet. Black Bag, a wonderful, sophisticated spy story that is streaming at last with Cate Blanchett and Michael Fassbender. Next week, I'm now switching languages. Next week, we have a movie coming called Nonnas. That's Italian for grandma. And it's Vince Vaughn as a guy who starts a restaurant where all the chefs are Italian grandmas.
That sounds really nice.
It does. It's for Mother's Day, of course.
Of course, just in time for Mother's Day. Yeah, what do you want for Mother's Day, Mom? What do you want?
Oh, breakfast in bed, as always.
Would you accept an Uber driver actually serving in your bed? I can do Uber Eats. Yeah, go inside, go into her bed, and serve
I'm
it.
very proud of my boys, even the ones that are not named after a comic book character.
Yeah, finally a movie I can relate to. Yeah, no superpowers and flawed. Yeah. Thank you, Mom. That's Movie Mom.
Love
No,
you.
hug and a kiss. Lord willing, we'll see you next week. Every Friday, Movie Mom, right here on News Talk 710 KURV.
If you're looking to improve your overall health and have a better quality of life, Dr. T's Primary Care is the place to go. If you feel tired or stressed or less motivated, if you're moody or if you have trouble sleeping, Dr. T's Primary Care will evaluate you and work with you to address your health concerns, including testosterone or menopause treatment, peptide treatment, IV vitamin infusions. Their licensed staff will take the time to listen to you and work with you to improve your overall health. Check out the website, drtsprimarycare.com. Give them a call in the Cal at 956-803-0058 in Harlingen, 956-368-5247.
The rental team at ASCO is ready to help you find the right equipment to do the job. For over 65 years, we've dedicated ourselves to supporting you with fast service and reliable equipment. Choose from daily, weekly, or long-term rental options to fit your project's needs. Buy it, rent it, support it. We're on it at ASCO Equipment. Visit ASCOEQ.com for your next equipment rental. That's ASCOEQ.com. The rental team at ASCO is ready to help you find the right equipment to do the job. For over 65 years, we've dedicated ourselves to supporting you with fast service and reliable equipment. Choose from daily, weekly, or long-term rental options to fit your project's needs. Buy it, rent it, support it.
Listen to Sergio Sanchez every morning on News Talk 710 KURV and on the Radio Parami app. Stay informed with exclusive interviews from top local and state leaders, plus economic development news, business, and medical reports, and all the local news from the RGV. It's everything you need to know to start your day right. Sergio Sanchez and News Talk 710 KURV.